So people don't look for the truth. People look to confirm what they believe.
And you always find.
If there's anything in this life, you're looking to confirm, you will find.
They are not making money, they are not participating in the economy, they are the problem of our country. So if you're not making money, you're not offering a service to anybody, you're not doing good, you're useless.
When I see people say, oh, you didn't mentor me, you just sold me a course and you left me, I feel like those people have, sorry, this is where people start getting angry at me, and it's fine. But I feel like those people, they are dumb. All money is made from selling something.
That's why long legs better than hard work.
Everybody has a potential.
If you know how to use Google tools, you're 70%, I'm telling you, you're 70% more employable than an average Nigerian graduate.
If you are in marketing, you are a scientist.
I don't think I'm the best inventor in the world. If my dad was Dangote, right, I would think of starting internet marketing, to be honest. You should not get a mentor that is too far off from you.
Literally, people were paying me to tell them the same thing that was in the course.
When it comes to the online space, I always say the internet is a blessing.
Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Entrepreneurs Connect show. Now I like to call this episode the Entrepreneurs Connect show special, and here is why. Seated here is over $1 million. In fact, like $4 million now, guys. I have fantastic guys here. To my far left, I have the one and only. You've seen him on the show before, but he's here again. He's making his second debut on the show with a free transfer from Lagos, Nigeria. Bruno, the Einstein of marketing. How are you doing, Bruno?
I'm good, Joseph. How you doing, man?
I'm pumped. I'm
super excited.
I'm super excited, right? And to the far right here, we have the one and only Emmanuel Jago. So if you watch the video I dropped yesterday where I said I beat somebody blue-black in FIFA, that's the guy. He has recovered, by the way. But he's the one. How are you, Emmanuel? Welcome.
I'm good, man. I'm good.
It was a live video, bro.
Good to see you again. Can't wait to beat you once more.
There's receipts. All right. And, to my immediate left here, imported from Lagos, Nigeria, I have Kolibe Ilichuku. How you doing, brother?
Nice to meet you.
Welcome. This is Demino. Nice to meet you. Well done. That's literally him. And then we have the one and only. Should I introduce? How can I introduce you now? How can I introduce you now? Lagos big boy, Lagos fresh boy, Abba creator, over 200,000. The fastest growing internet marketing creator on YouTube. With well over 200,000 subscribers, millions of dollars in revenue. Make welcome Franklin Emmanuel. Woo!
Thanks so much. I'm glad to be here. I would say that I've been meaning to be on this show.
Guy. Welcome. And then to my immediate right here. This is a small boy actually, but so many feel among. So the founder of CP Dollar Academy, Prince Akinlami, you might have seen his ads literally everywhere. Now I'm allergic to poverty. He's here. Welcome, Prince. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
Good to have you on the show here, and
it's nice to be here.
Super excited for the conversation we are going to have today.
Excited as well.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready to rock and roll, guys?
Let's go, bro.
Let's go.
Let's get it. So I'd like us to kick off this conversation by doing a little of comparison and contrast, right? Now, looking at everything you've done today, if you could go back in time, would you rather start an online business than an offline business? Which one do you think you'd rather have started?
The truth is, when it comes to the online space, I always say the internet is a blessing. Mm-hmm. The internet has blessed us. It has made connectivity easy. Mm-hmm. It has made making money easy. Yeah. So why would I start the hard way?
Mm-hmm. And that's what makes you think that the offline way is the hard way?
The offline way, there are a lot of things. When you want to start a business, you need logistics. Mm-hmm. You need an office space, right? Mm-hmm. You need a whole lot of other things. Mm-hmm. But in the internet space, you need the smartphone you're using to watch this right now. That is all you need, and data. Mm-hmm. So a cell phone that you use an average of 5 hours a day, that is all you need. Right? So why not use that time that you have, use it to make money? So that's that was like my thought pattern when I was starting out.
Did you ever do an offline business?
Yes, I did an offline business, of course, but the internet was always an enabler.
Yeah.
Digital marketing, my senior friend, Honorable Aki Alabi, will say, digital marketing is marketing.
Yeah.
Right? It is only a tool. The online space is just a tool. Right? I once owned a tourism business.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we took people on tours to Badagry and the rest.
That's it. I've been 1 year labor.
Like I went abroad.
So I started very small, taking people to places like Badagry, tourism within Nigeria. I did not have money to go out. Badagry, in Delta State, there's this place, Ethiopia, very wonderful water, close to Abraka.
Oh.
Yeah. So places like that. And you will call that an offline business, but we got our clients online too. Right? So in this digital age, I think it is silly to subtract the online aspect of it. Yeah, so that's it basically.
I think one other beautiful thing about having an online business, doing online business is that, of course, physical business have their own advantages. We are in the physical business. We are here right now because someone is running a business. But then one of the most unique thing about having an online business is that it allows specific skills to thrive. In the sense that, like 20 years ago, if you were probably in an environment where most businesses there compared of probably fishing or maybe the transportation of cocoa and all of that, it's very difficult for you to really think of anything other than the most prevailing thriving business in that environment because there's no internet, there's nothing, you don't have that specific skills. But today, someone who is interested in something as demeaning to most people as pet snakes, can come up, create a YouTube channel, and then people who are interested in pet snakes all over the world connect. So it gives you access to capital, it gives you access to reach, it gives you access to things that you predominantly would have had to do a pitch deck or able to give to you before. Now you can actually do that, have specific interests. Today people sell pet snakes, pet stones online, right? This specific interest, internet made all of these things possible. So if I were to start up tomorrow, next tomorrow, whatever it is, I would always choose, internet over every other thing.
Also, so I want to say something, right? Which is, I think, the key or the power of the internet is the fact that you cannot beat the internet when it comes to scale, right? Think about it. The potential of this video being seen by 1 million people, 10 million people, or the amount of people is close to, is a very large number. The amount of effort hey God, English done they had me. The amount of effort it would have taken for those amount of people to be in the same place or in a particular place. Do you understand? It would have been a lot of effort, a lot of logistics. And guess what? You still wouldn't be able to get as many people that the internet can reach. So when it comes, so that's why I feel like it's a no-brainer. Like right now, if anybody's going to start a business, I feel like it's not something you would say. Maybe 20 years ago, you could have considered and said, okay, let me start a physical business and then later I'll look at. But now you're part of your business process, part of your marketing, your sales process, everything has to be incorporated, with the internet. So because you just can't beat scale. Like it's much more easier to find your ideal customer on the internet than to find them trying to use your leg to go to wherever you think they are. So that's why I think that obviously, like the internet business is going to be something that I would start if I had the opportunity to start again. It's a no-brainer.
And let me just say, to add to what Django just said now, that the word connection, connecting you to your customers, right? It's very important because when we look at online, offline business, they're both businesses, right? And we also see where, whether online or offline, you want to connect with people. You want to connect to your customers, right? And this is where I would liken it to my experience. I worked with my distant uncle back in the year, We used to sell cosmetics then, right? The internet was not, like, we didn't have much penetration as it is now. And currently, you would have seen how people in this industry have really blown up in the terms of where they've made massive sales. In short, I would say they would usually call these guys like ritualists right now in the terms here, right? Because they've made a lot of money selling online. The same products that we used to sell in the shop, and it's just crazy. Now let's also connect it to where we have religious gatherings, where everybody wants to have a church here, church there, and all of those things. In your church, you have about 100 capacity, 200, maybe 1,000. 1,000 is very huge, right? But if you see, I know the way this pastor blew up, what's his name? The
Jerry,
man
is it?
So he
Jerry.
came online, and with that particular,
NSPPD, prayer online, yeah.
So you see how he was able to connect with different people in different
Across the world.
states, in different countries, all over the world, connecting, and they are testifying. Now, I'm not likening or saying that church is business here, but it is how much you can connect. It's how much you can connect to many more people and just explode in a shorter period of time.
Yeah, but that makes sense, Bob. When you guys say online business and offline business, I have a different view, to be honest.
Because I was going to drop a question, but make I swear that.
But now, if my dad was Dangote, right, I wouldn't think of starting internet marketing, to be honest, because I have money.
It's not going well.
You understand what I'm saying? Because I have money. So the main advantage that starting an online business gives you is leverage. You understand? Small work, big result. You get, because most physical businesses that you see out there, or let's say offline businesses as you like to call it, they are businesses that are heavily dependent on what you put in. That heavily determines what you get out. But if you can make a TikTok video promoting a product, and TikTok can potentially push your video to get 3 million views, 5 million views, you can make a whole lot of money. That's little effort. Right? So for me, right, I think if we're going to talk about the impact of an online business, should be where you're starting from. So if you're starting from a standpoint where you have a whole lot of money, go and open a big supermarket in Abuja or in Lagos, you still make a lot of money regardless.
Yep.
You understand? But if you're coming from a standpoint whereby the only thing you can afford to have is what you have, okay, I think the online business can literally help you go very, very far. But let's say you're watching this video and you have trust fund somewhere. You can take that trust fund and start a physical business. You're gonna make a lot of money.
And so the question I'm going to ask is, so everybody's online. Are digital skill-based businesses and information-based businesses the only online businesses available? Because it feels like there's a distinction between maybe product-based businesses, service-based businesses, and then online businesses. Because what I feel is, can these other businesses still be done online?
The thing is,
when I say online business,
any online business that you're seeing, so before the web, people were doing business. So the reason why we have this conversation of saying online business right now is because we have the internet.
Yes.
So any business that you see on the internet right now was most likely an offline business that went online.
Exactly.
So the whole online thingy is just a form of leverage to reach more people with the least amount of effort.
That is to say that it doesn't have to be high ticket closing or copywriting or funnel building to be an online business. You can
sell fuel online.
I'm also looking at the angle you just spoke about right now, right? And he said it is where you're starting from, right? In as much as to an extent that's true, but I can tell you, even if it's a Dangote right now, I would definitely want to be in a space where I can actually connect to more people, right? So let's look at the impact of marketing in every business, right? So if as an online business or you do online marketing and you're able to reach more customers through that particular channel, definitely you're going to be there. Sure, the reason why you even know Dangote today is because you've most probably read about him in several online journals or several online publications and stuff.
I'll probably disagree with you, but that's the reason why I know him. But I get your point.
No, I'm actually saying in terms of you've been able to follow up with everything.
Yeah.
So you would also see that this is where this connectivity comes in, making something small blow up and turn to like wildfire, and everybody just has that information. So online business works actually, and even the big guys know that.
So what we're saying basically now is that online businesses are any business you can do leveraging the internet.
Basically.
So it doesn't have to be skill based. It doesn't have to be because there's the tendency that people that are watching this video and say, "Oh, me that I'm selling here. How do I translate it with them?"
There are people that actually
that
sold
said,
it. You know,
yeah.
this is exactly why I went to look out for, like real life examples. Like Miss Waneka started selling hairs, bull hairs. This guy started doing hairs on Instagram and all, and they've really
I think this Ashmusi babe as well. I think she sells hair online or something.
Yeah.
I mean, to be just, if you go to Instagram, I don't know, maybe check your babe's phone, you see that most of the things they buy, it is on Instagram, and they are selling their products there. Yeah, I mean, of course. So you check your babe, so you see that they are literally following different pages of people with hair, and that's why they're always inspired to buy hair and change. It is somebody put that same business on the internet. So this, just like Joseph has said, you can take the same thing you're doing, all right? Even if you're offering a physical service, you use the internet to get people to know about what you offer, and then to get them to find you where you are. There was this when I got my car, there was this particular content creator that so my friend, she was so my friend, she was like, oh, there's when I bought my Benz, right? When I bought my Benz, so there was this content creator on TikTok that created like really good content, and my friend was like, "Bro, check this out." Right? And then I'd never heard of them before. I didn't even know these people existed, but they offer services. You know, they help you. They're like an auto mech company, but they're creating content online. All right. Making more people like me who would have never known they existed to become aware of them, educated me to the point where I was like, okay, you know what? If I ever had any specific issue, I'll go and find them. So it doesn't matter if you offer a physical service, the customers you want or your customers are on the internet. There are about, I think the statistics one time, there are about, let's say 8 billion people in the world, right? Let's say kids, all right, who are probably not your target audience, let's say 2 billion. That leaves about 6 billion. You have Facebook, but the statistics, I can't remember where I saw it, but there are 4 billion people connected to the internet. 4 billion people connected to the internet. And that number is just going to keep growing. That's number one. Now you say, okay, if you remove 2, you have 6 billion people. There are elderly people that are much more older. You probably say, okay, I'm not targeting them. That means that almost every single person who can buy what you're selling is on the internet. Do you understand? So if you have a business right now that is offline, in fact, I actually think that the term offline and online businesses are now a misnomer. Every business is now online because that's where the people are. The market is online. The market is on the internet. So it just makes sense that if you offer something offline, if you offer something, in your small shop, you can take that same small shop and put it on the internet and have people who never knew about you get to know about you.
And I'm going to add something to this, and it's simply where people watching this particular content right now might feel like it's simply about going online, moving online, right? To be honest, we don't want to get to where at the point people feel like, oh, I've tried this and it didn't work for me and stuff like that, because in the end, you also have to consider how you are going online, right? Your content, because it's content, right? What's your content looking like and stuff? Okay, I wouldn't want to delve into this much, just to drop this for most people watching. You need to start thinking of what kind of content and how it is appealing to those people that you want to reach out to, basically. And then you're good. Yeah.
In your opinion, right, what's the best way to get started online? Product-based business, I'm talking about e-commerce and selling like physical products, digital products, selling your information, or service-based businesses where you're selling your skills as a service. What do you think, in your opinion, what's the best way to get started online?
That's a good question. Just start.
I think the most important thing is you have to keep finding what works. And the only way to keep finding is experimentation. If you are in marketing, you are a scientist. And one of the tenets of science is you have to experiment. You have to experiment, you have to get feedbacks, and then you have to, document the results you have, and you have to make tweaks. You keep making tweaks until you finally get the hack. And when you get that hack, you double up on whatever that hack is, and you basically just get results. If you're basically looking for the right way, then I think you're probably late, right? You basically just need the facts. Okay, what do I need to do? I need to be on certain platforms. If I am doing visuals, I need to be on platforms like Instagram and TikTok. If I want to do content that has to do with text and all that, I need to be on Twitter or micro blogging space like X and Facebook, basically. And then once you figure that out, you wouldn't really know what kind of content will appeal until you put it out there, because the market tends to decide. So you keep looking out, keep trying to find what works, and before you know it, one works, and that one basically draws people to you, and then they begin to check out other content. And if you've been consistent before, then you're good. But if you're looking for the right one to put out there, then that right one is the only one you have, because that's the only one that blew up, right? And people come, they don't see any more of what you've been doing. But if you put in there, people want to see stories of people that have been doing stuff before now. They want to come to your page and they see that, oh, this guy has been in this space for a couple of months or a couple of years.
Can I say?
Yeah.
Are you saying that I can start, if I start dropshipping today,
No. What I want to say is, I think we're even straying a bit too far from your question, right? Because what he even said was like, what would be the best way to start? The question is, most people, I don't know for most people watching this, but I remember one thing that confused me a lot when I started was that many people say business, online business. What the hell do they even mean? Right? Like, what does it mean to run an online? Because to be honest, like, I used to think that business had, you have a factory, it's producing like, the lots and lots of things going on. So it felt like a very big one. But let me just let me just demystify that for you if you're one of those people. It's simple. All money is made. I'm going to drop $1 million secret for you. All money is made from selling something.
$1 million secret.
That's it.
Yeah.
I know it's anticlimactic, right? But that's the point I'm trying to make. Anticlimactic. It's anticlimactic. So
You want to bring that down? What does anticlimactic mean?
it doesn't. It doesn't meet like the expectation that you expect, like the expectation you had.
There's many big word.
Basically, the point is that it's not a big thing. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's not a big thing. All business is made from selling something. You need to find out, what can I sell? Now, if you already have something you sell, let's say you sell hair, you sell towels, you sell air conditions, you sell lights, you even sell posters, or you do this thing, like you already have something, and basically you're offering that thing in exchange for money. That is it. Now, if you now have a product, it means that you have something that doesn't require you to offer it as a service. So let me give you an example. When you buy a car, when you buy puff puff, when you buy a phone, those are products, right? But when you call a carpenter to come to your house and fix your door, or a plumber, they are offering a service. So those are two different things. So what Joseph is asking is, what is the best way to do this? You can either go service-based if you already have a skill, all right? Or you can offer a product. Now you might ask yourself, okay, what products can I sell? I don't have a skill. And I'm like Bruno when I started, I don't have any skill. What product can I sell? Here's the good thing. There are lots of products on the internet that are looking for people to sell them. All right. So the point is, there are a million ways to start. Each and every one of us here, our stories are all different. We all started differently. So I cannot tell you that my way is the way to start. It worked for me, right? It might not work for you, but the point is, you can't keep waiting and saying, oh, like, which one will work for me? You cannot know. All you just need to do is just start first. The one you find out, the one that just feels like, okay, let me just try this out and see. Try that one. If it doesn't work for you, guess what? You now know the one that will not work for you. Then you go on to the other one. But you can't wait till you have all the information before you start. That's what I think, though.
To add to this, I'm just going to straight up answer that question, right? And I'm saying it from my own perspective. And it's very important that we also look at different areas of what works for us personally, right? But coming from my perspective, I think that anybody starting out anything online, especially if you're a complete beginner, total beginner, right? You don't have anything, you just want to start, please go start a service-based business, right? Now, why am I saying this? See, bend your heads down and learn a skill about something, around something that you can go and look for a customer and sell to. Now, I'm going to give you an example here. I started out as a website designer. I just learned into WordPress. and I started as a WordPress designer. I sold WordPress design to a couple of clients, and I got money, and I started SEO. From SEO, I knew I need to reach out to more people. I started running Facebook ads. From Facebook ads, I needed to start selling this or that. I jump into the next thing, right? So the basic thing here is where you are building capacity from one single thing because you have decided to just start from one, right? The fact that you're starting from one just helps you keep on compounding several other skills before to a point where you now realize that you are now like a mighty god in the space, and you can now be fit enough to create series of products. Now, I don't know whatever product you want to create, but then I'm like, whichever product you want to create is fine, but then you just have to know properly, very well, in each of the areas, how good, or how well to run every of those spaces. Then you can scale from there. That's just how it works. And I most probably believe that if anybody can patiently follow through with this step by step, they will most probably be successful.
Interestingly, right, I didn't start with service, right? What I started was as an affiliate marketer.
Yeah, so it differs for people. So, for example, I started as a service-based person. So the first skill I learned ever was graphic design.
Let me just help you with something. You're going to really, in the end, look at the fact that you started as an affiliate marketer and realize that it was actually a service you were selling. Right? Not service per se. Not service per se. You were the product yourself, but you were solving a problem as a service person.
How do you mean? Explain.
All right, good. So as an affiliate marketer, basically you have a product you're selling, right?
Somebody else's product I'm selling, not my product, selling, yes.
Right? But you started from somewhere, right? Where you were trying to master up sales and, figure out how to actually get somebody that will be interested, right? Unless we will call it luck, where finally you got a client that just bought because they believe in you already.
So I was going to come there, which was that my story is a bit very unique. I hated marketing. I hated sales. The fact that today somebody calls me the Einstein of marketing is totally opposite of everything I wanted to be. I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be like Will Smith. I was this super cool one. I was very artistic and all. So me coming to do marketing and sales was not in my plan So the way I started was very funny. I literally my phone got stolen. I mean, you guys know my story. Probably seen it online. My phone got stolen and it was everything I had. It was during COVID 2020. That was all I had. 100K that someone gave me as a birthday gift. I carried everything. I bought a phone. Probably one of the most foolish decisions I made, but I bought a phone, and then that phone was stolen. And it was that moment that it prompted me to realize that I didn't have a skill. I didn't have a phone. I didn't have anything. I was broke. So I was like, you know what? Let me just try whatever comes around. Then my friend tells me about this affiliate marketing thing, and I was like, okay, let me try it out. Now, prior to them, what I didn't know now in retrospect was that I'd already built an audience of people that trusted me. But I didn't know that I had an audience. I just knew I had people on my WhatsApp, and I'll connect with people. I was in communities, Christian communities, and all of that. And before you know it, when I found out the product, I just put it out on my WhatsApp status, and somebody bought. Next another person bought, and it now happened like wildfire. And I realized that wait, I actually have Twitter. I have like 3,000 something followers on Twitter, and I wasn't trying to grow an audience because I didn't even know what an audience meant. I just put it out on Twitter. The tweet is still available today. I was like, bro, I found out a way to make money. It's not Ponzi, it's not MMM, it's none of these things. If you're interested, I thought I was going to do a review and come back and tell them. And before you know it, people reached out to me. Different people reached out to me. So for me, I started as a product, and again. Like I said, you're correct. If I was to advise somebody today, I'll advise them with what you said. But I'm just saying that if you already have somebody that you happen to be very charismatic, you already have a lot of people, the chances are that...
And most times, there's no one size fits all. This thing.
For me, the common thing with everybody here is before you start making money online, you learned a skill.
That's it.
Everybody here learned a skill.
Or you probably capitalize.
Everybody.
Or you probably capitalize.
He learns sales and marketing.
Exactly. The idea. If you
how
see,
did you know you post?
One thing is constant.
Announcement is marketing.
One thing is constant.
You saw it in the course.
Bruno. One thing is constant. One thing is
it's very
constant
simple
from every single story here. we all capitalized on something that was natural to us. And one is our ability to speak, charisma, ability to speak, ability to charisma, ability to build a level of trust, right? To an extent, these things were natural to us. And then as we did it more, we perfected it, and then it became like a very good skill that we can now use into sales and marketing. You could as well become a preacher or a pastor. You could as well go in the path of spoken words.
Nothing was natural to me, bro. Like, I learned all these things. Like, I learned how to talk.
But sometimes, see, this is exactly where we see that everybody has a potential.
Yeah, see, me, I strongly believe that everybody can learn, right? But you might not just be as good as the guy that is talented in it. But you don't even need to be as good as that guy. Do you understand? Like, like everybody has the potential to learn anything. I can decide that, okay, I want to start.
How about we say you just have to be good at your own good.
You just have to be good enough and known enough. That's you understand? No, like, it's a process.
I
it won't just happen enough.
Beyond even being good, right? You have to have guts, and I think that's
the most important thing. Guts.
Yes.
Sometimes when I look at my post on Facebook, like 2014, 2015, there are times I don't edit. I purposely don't edit it. When I see this sentence structure, I cringe. But I purposely don't edit it because I realize that there are times people find me and then they go as far back as 2014. And I'm telling you, and these were like common things basically. And they go as far back as searching these things, and they now come back, to the recent me.
Present you.
So what that does is that it inspires them to see that, yes, it gives them something to really see that, okay,
what you're talking about right now is even credibility. That's what you're talking about. Credibility.
Consistency on my own end too.
Okay. So, like, regardless of where you are, wherever you find yourself with what are the most important things, gods, right? So I look at, for example, internet marketers that have grown. I can even use Praise, for example.
Why?
Praise grew on everybody. The way he's, but again in 2020, I freaking knew in 2019, bro. The way he.
I remember when I first met Praise and Tam Lorry at that Aki Alabi's event. One event like that. I was like, how with these young chaps like that?
It took guts for you to make your first video to run an ad.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It took guts for you to. Right now, do you know what it is? Now you're going ahead to, put in money, millions of naira and everything inside advertising. When you pull out that first money to put in ads, it was mind.
Okay, so the thing is, right, it's different for me. Like, most of the things that I did was sequeled by somebody.
It's learned.
I didn't have to do it.
There is a part that everybody here follows.
So that time Lorena that I
I'm not
spoke
even
about,
against what you're saying.
that time Lorena that I spoke about now, right? He was like a step ahead of me always.
Yeah.
You understand? So before I carry 550k and put in hand, he has already put 50k in hand.
Yeah.
That's why long legs is better than hard work. You understand? Bro?
Long leg is better than hard work.
You understand? So because he was
Write that down.
he was always there doing something before me. So most of the steps I took, even till now, like, I like to pay for stuff. I like to pay for information. I like to pay for mentorships and all these kind of things. I'm not saying this so that you go and buy any course. So if you go and buy course, you're on your own. You understand? This is me telling you my advice. That anything you do is at your own risk. You get what
and to be fair, it's not even just you. Me, say if I bought course, like the funny thing was that. Do you understand?
Don't worry, I'll come in there.
So, like, back to what I'm saying, right? So I always had somebody like in front of me doing the dirty work and all that. My mentor, who like before me, he had put $70,000 in his business. This was like in 2021 when dollars was dollars. Do you understand?
$16, bro. $16. When naira was naira.
So he put in like $70,000 like to run ads and put offers out there. So it wasn't a thing of surprise for me, or it wasn't something that I knew the risks. I knew that I could lose it all and all that. So I had a roadmap to do most of all these things. So if somebody wants to like get started making money online, for me, I'll tell you that look for a roadmap, because I like to copy. I was telling Bruno, was it not you I was telling just before we like started this podcast? I said, I don't say this publicly, right? But I don't think I'm the best inventor in the world. I don't think there's anything I'm going to invest. Number one, I'm in Nigeria. What are the odds that they have not invented what I invented or what I want to invent like 10 years ago in China? I heard our phones is like assignments for guys in China. You understand?
That's what I've been hearing.
Okay, that's what we've been hearing about. But so, like, what's the odds that whatever I'm thinking that is genius now has not been done 10 years ago back? So right now, I'm not looking towards inventing anything. I'm just looking towards how much problem can I solve and to what magnitude can I do it that I can earn money from it. In fact, I like to tell people that if they are not making money, they are not participating in the economy. They are the problem of our country. Because if you're participating in the economy, all right, it means there is an exchange, which in bird's eye view helps the economy. So if you're not making money, you're not offering a service to anybody. You're not doing good. You're useless. That's the truth.
A typical example is the civil service, actually.
Yeah, civil service.
Yes,
Yeah, let me hear it.
actually.
What do you
Because
mean?
if you look at this, for example, now, we're in Port Harcourt right now, for the economy of River State to be structured, to be maintained, the River State itself as a state has to generate enough revenue to run the state. If states cannot generate enough revenue, employ people at different sectors and everything, and the state is not generating enough revenue to run itself, right? And have to start depending on an external government, federal government, to give it fund to run its own state, then it's of course a liability. And if you look at which civil service departments in this country is really thriving, a lot of them are simply operational. Documentations and all of these crazy things. But then, which of them is really thriving and then making enough money to actually run itself without an external force? A lot of times, people even get into civil service these days. Most of the times, they are going there because someone told them that there's an opportunity to steal. Not necessarily because of the salary, because salary, of course, is nothing to say, nothing to talk about. So that's just what I meant.
But the civil service is an important part of the government where you cannot take away.
Part of the government, but then when it's not contributing, it's like a cancer.
Okay, like they're doing more harm than good.
Yeah. Do you know that 90%, a large percentage of all of our expenses as a country in a year is used to service civil service? It's actually used for salary payment and all of that.
You have data to
go and check. A large percentage of all of our budget, it's used to service debt. Basically, it's basically used to service debt. If the civil service can be up and running, where we create innovations and all of those things, I mean, Nigeria is really going to try.
So guys, what role do you think mentorship had to play in your journey and in your growth? And that's because, so hear me out so that I can make the distinction very well. I go on Twitter, a lot of last year, 2022, you see a lot of drags that you sold the course to me, you did not mentor me, I joined a mentorship group, nothing was happening, and all that. What is the distinction? What role did mentorship, quote unquote, play in your journey, in your growth? And then did you need to be personally up close with your mentor, dragging him by his neck and all that to grow?
Personally, no. In fact, this whole thing of mentorship was just ridiculous to me, because when I started, if I knew about it, I'd have made a lot more money. I'd charge all these people like Kene, because when I started, I just realized that for me, as much as I hated sales and marketing, I'd already started reading about influence and persuasion from a very, university level, and I understood the game. So the first time I opened the course I bought, I was like, I remember like a light bulb happened in my head. I was like, I know what these guys are talking about. Like, I can do this thing. And so I didn't even, the course was 12 days. I think I stopped at day 3. Till today, I never got to day 12. Okay, I think I skipped some days. But I never finished the course. I just stopped at day 3, day 4. I started implementing. I started getting results. There were people before me, right? So when, as my results started growing and, in the community, people started knowing, this guy did 1 million, and then 1 million a month was crazy. Like, nobody was doing it. You understand?
It's still crazy.
I was talking to you this morning.
No, compare with dollars.
Hold on, bro. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
Now-
Because when I was speaking to you this morning, I told you that, there's this small collab by the side that I'm doing, and if you can even get out 500k per month, that I will not even mind, because it's going to solve like a couple little home problems. And then I came back to him and I said, see, I just left 500k, and I said it's normal, and I just walked the yard. You know that this year, there's some people that in the entire month, they will not earn up to 500k per month. They will not earn 250k, they will not earn, some people will earn 50k per month for the rest of the year. That is, in the whole year, they will earn that's 600k, right? In the whole year. Right? So 1 million still.
Well, fair enough, yeah. But again, that would be depending on who you're comparing yourself with, because you know, when I started, again, just being completely transparent, is that when I started, my goal was to make 200k every month, right? Like that was my goal. My goal was that if I could just make 200k every month. No, the reason I wanted to make 200k was because that was the biggest amount I could think of. That was the biggest amount I could think of.
It was 100.
No, it was not 200.
100k like this, my life. My life.
Like I'll carry Mopo,
I'll be
bro.
good.
So the reason was that I wanted to buy that phone back. So I was like, even if I just make 200k, if now that 200k I just made like this, I could just buy the phone back. If the thing won't crash, make crash, because I thought that was how this thing was, about crashing and not crash. So that was only my goal. So when I now started making, like, you know, before I forget, we're talking about courses and mentorships. Yeah, I'm not gonna forget that. So when I did the first 1 million in a month, I was like, I remember thinking, holy shit, I just made I just did 1 million in a month. And I remember how even my work changed. Like, I went to buy something. My primary school classmates came around, and I was like, what do you want to order? I was like, buy Jerry, you understand? I was like, you understand? Then I made it the second month. Then by the time I made it the third month, that was when I now won the car, right, that they were doing. Then I was like I was the first person that actually won that car challenge. And that's when it now blew. Like, before you know it, people said, and I realized that, wait, some things were so simple that people could not still follow it. Like, literally, people were paying me to tell them the same thing that was in the course. That's how crazy it was. So when I see people say, "Oh, you didn't mentor me, you just sold me a course and you left me," I feel like those people have. Sorry, this is where people start getting angry at me, and it's fine. But I feel like those people, they are dumb.
You know, the thing is, okay, so wait, hold on, let me just cut you short there. So now the thing about it, so there's this guy that lives close to my house, and he bought one of my programs, and he watched the videos to an extent, then he stopped. And he started calling me, because my house is just like a stone throw from his house. I don't like people around me buying my courses. The hawala is too much. So he called me and told me that he needs to see me, that he has made progress in the course, blah, 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 blah. So one thing I noticed is that most people prefer people to tell them things face to face than opposed to them watching it in a video. And I don't think it's a human flaw. You understand? Because we're never designed to take instructions from a computer. It's because of the internet and all these kind of things. We're designed to take.
It's not really a computer. It's a human being that's telling you.
Relax now. You get what I'm saying? You just you get. So now I noticed that most people just need encouragement. All right, they just need encouragement. They just need somebody to always talk to. That's why I always recommend that you should not get a mentor that is too far off from you. You understand? That's one of the things I enjoyed with Tammy being my friend. Because he was always like 2 or 3 steps. He was my friend. He was my friend and also.
You had a friend who was also a mentor. Yeah. There's something Elon said, although he might not agree with it, but Elon said, see, if you're looking for encouragement, if you're looking for motivation before you do your business, then you should not be an entrepreneur.
Exactly.
No, that one is. It's different when you're starting out.
But bro, when you're starting out, that's what you need.
No, you have no idea what entrepreneurship is.
You have a course.
No, that's the only thing you have.
Still brings me back to that God's conversation.
So see, you have a look. You have a course. See, the point is, you're not starting from zero. You already have structured information that has gotten a lot of people from where they point zero.
The problem is the only thing you have is a course.
And that course is enough. It's enough. I said, why do you say
There's no way I'm saying this. I don't think it's 100% enough. Like, you guys are entrepreneurs. You understand what it means to Like, you can try everything and it will still not work.
Yes, good.
Do you understand? And that's where other elements comes in. I won't tell you that, okay, probably maybe you should go and have a mentor and bug him and do something. That's why we have communities most of all.
So my concept of mentorship has never been a man that is seeing leading a blind man, because that's what a lot of people are looking for. So I'm blind, I close my eyes, you hold me, and you start dragging me along the way.
People want you to say, do 1, do 2, do 3. And the funny thing is that maybe you're right in the sense that they can ask questions that they feel the course did not cover. I can get that, right? That's why most courses now come with some sort of support, community, FAQs and all of that. But the point at the end of the day is this, right? 80% of the time, you're not adding any new information to the person you're taking to. You're not. You're basically just repeating the same thing, all right? And then saying it maybe in a way that is now probably easier for them to understand. But if you look at it, it's exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing.
It helps with some people.
Yes.
But it's not.
But you know, and this is where
necessary.
and this is where the challenge is. The people who want the most help usually cannot afford it. So it becomes counterproductive to me, right? Who values my time right now to say, okay, I'm going to sit down with you. And like, you can't even pay me enough to do that. I mean, you can pay me if you're paying me a lot of money. But
I've never really done mentorship. I don't have any mentee. I don't have anyone I mentor. I value my time a lot. I'd rather sleep than have to be on the call.
So that's the thing. Yeah. So what I was saying is, I think so people have like a thwarted view of what mentorship really is.
Exactly. So,
because mentorship doesn't have to be. So I have mentors. For example, Vusi Tambakwa is my mentor. Right? We talk on WhatsApp from time to time. But Vusi has never held me and say, okay, Joseph, you must follow. I'm wise enough to know that, okay,
No, so Joseph,
Vusi has his book.
Joseph, let me
Vusi has his
explain
podcast.
See, there are different types of mentors. Like that's how I see it. Wait, hold on.
Guy,
mentorship is not.
You are dragging it lower.
No, I'm not dragging it.
And
You
I
guys are
think,
not
right,
understanding what I'm
there's a
saying.
difference between a coach and a mentor.
Yes, exactly. You guys are not getting what I'm saying. I'm not
Because
dragging
people
it
are
down.
looking for coaching in the guise of mentorship.
There's how I see it. There's how I see it. Now you guys get it from my own POV, right? Now this is how I see it, right? Now, if I want to learn sales and marketing, okay, and I'm just starting from the beginning, there are different kinds of people I can learn from at the same time. So for instance, now, I know Akin Alabi now is a don in sales and marketing. I can learn from him. I don't necessarily have to buy his course, just from his teaching, his lifestyle, what he tweets and all these kind of things. Then there are people who are coaches, who actually mentor people. Like that's what they do.
They coach people.
Okay.
There's not the coaching and mentorship.
Okay, they coach people.
That is really where it starts from.
They coach
Mentorship
people.
is different from coaching.
All right. So they coach people. Okay. Because when you're selling a course, are you selling a course to mentor them or to coach them? So why would you sell a course and want to divert?
no, there's teaching.
There's coaching, there's mentorship. You created the course primarily to teach people
To teach. That's
what they want to learn. This guy has paid you to learn something, and now you provided information for them. Now, if you now decide that you want more of my time, I do several classes where I teach people for free. But if you now demand for my time outside of the class that I've shared with you, then you pay for coaching. And in that coaching is not cheap, because you're paying for my time. You're paying for extra time. So I'll probably charge you like $100 per hour or $200 or $1,000 per hour. You know, then that is where I can now tell you, oh yeah, do this, oh yeah, do this, oh yeah, do this, oh yeah, do that. I will hold you by hand. Those things that you probably need to hear from me directly, then I will share that with you, and you have to pay for it. But the issue is that people promise coaching while trying to teach.
Thank you.
If you know you're not going to coach, don't promise it when you're teaching. And if you probably say, okay, I want to do extra, I want to do FAQ, right? I want to have support system. I think these guys did, when they were doing for 2IG, there was a Telegram group where it would come every once in a week to answer people's questions. So that makes a lot more sense. You know, if you have personal issues, he will now direct you to a technical person to help you solve that problem and all that. So there's teaching, which is mostly in courses, and there's coaching, which is mostly one-on-one, you know, sessions.
so
and then there's
mentorship
mentorship.
is not like
There's group coaching.
There's group
There's group coaching.
Group coaching too.
Sometimes,
General
in the end, you get to realize that most of what we call mentorship is actually coaching, right? Because in the end, you get to mentorship itself. Most times, you cannot quantify it with money. So most mentors will never ask you to pay, right? So this is exactly where we see where you are paying for somebody's time to actually walk you through a particular process step by step. It's coaching.
Consultants are coaches too sometimes. There are people who offer advice. Okay, their example now, I've been in consulting space for like 5 years. Consulting is primarily people offering you money to offer them professional advice. You can take it, you can decide not to take it, but you pay for it. They do all of the market research, everything, give you findings from all of the data available, and tell you this is what we recommend for your business. Now, after consulting, there's now you hiring them on retainership to execute on the advice they've given to you. That one too is different. And then you as an executive who own the business can also decide that, okay, you guys are executing, but I want you to come and train our staff so that this thing you're executing, they are well informed enough to operate it when you leave. That is different. That is coaching. That is coaching. You coaching or training their staff, basically showing them how to, operate whatever it is you've basically imported and whatever innovations you've actually put into and all of that. And then there's mentorship where, okay, in the grand scale of things, of the vision of the company, there's this particular person or a group of this person that is actually going to give you industry insights. Most of the time, they don't even charge for it. They can be on your board or whatever it is. They give you industry insights and all that. And you don't necessarily have to be, you don't even have to be in their DMs all the time. You mostly call them when the problems is huge. The problems are huge. And then what you need is basically insights. These guys are like, they don't really want.
I think we're very straight to far. What I was going to say is that for me, again, this is why words and their definitions are important. Is that when I look for a mentor, right, I look for somebody who, apart from just the skill impartation and industry direction, I look for somebody who I can, share other personal things with. Because here's the thing is that your life, as much as it's fragmented, or I have a business life, I have like personal life, sometimes it's things flow, exactly, things flow from issues into that. So that's why I feel like mentorship comes in, but the rest of it is just coaching. Do you understand? The rest of it is just coaching. A mentor is going to, I feel, again, I could be wrong, you can be vulnerable with. Do you understand? A mentor is going to tell you, bro, you're slacking. Do you understand? Or like they can give you much more than just skill specific advice or direction. But again, I feel like these things are a bit too muddled up.
Let me also add something directly to the question you asked. I would say that having a mentor at whichever level, right, as a beginner, an expert, or whatever you call yourself, is very important, right? Me, it helped me greatly from scratch. I had somebody that I could always, ask questions, beyond questions, and also share myself with. And this really helped me scale faster, way faster than I would have on my own. So basically, if you can find a mentor, it's also very good. But at the same time, let us not get to mix mentorship with coaching and then the course itself.
Now, I just remembered something. I think this is. No. I think this. No. Let me tell you one of the value that I think a mentor helps you with, and it's not just about the information they give you. It's the belief and the change in mindset, right? Because there are certain things that you're unable to do. See, not because you don't have the capacity or the skill set to do it, but there's something here, right, that is stopping you from.
And the question is, can you pay a mentor?
Yes, you can.
When starting out.
Remember
who we are talking about. Let's not forget our target audience. We have been, dilly-dallying. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, right, we're talking to people who want to start. These people cannot pay for mentorship. Right?
So they basically have to leverage on every other thing that is available. I know, not limited, but no, based on the question I asked, actually, that's where it's coming from.
And the question before that, right? So you see that you can do distance mentorship.
Exactly, bro.
You can study somebody through his books, through his tweets, right? Then coaching. You can pay for somebody's coaching where they have laid out principles for you to follow. Do this. After you do this, do this.
Yeah.
This is how it's done in America, in the UK. But when it comes to Nigerians picking up this thing, and they have seen, do this, after you do this, do this. But they will not want to go overboard and say, that coaching or that course, they want you to turn into mentorship.
Yes.
Do you get? So this person brings out their time every single week. Maybe they decide that they'll be, giving you group coaching or something. And you want to switch it over to mentorship. They are two different things. When you're starting out, you cannot really pay for a credible character's mentorship. You can't. Right? So there are stages to this thing.
Sometimes most of these people are not even disciplined enough for mentorship.
Exactly.
Because I've had people who even
Yeah.
tell me, "Oh, I couldn't follow up last week. I was busy at work and I couldn't meet it. Come back." So it is more of like when someone doesn't even see your time as important, and they just want to just use you anyhow based on what they feel they paid for, right?
And that's why
You see someone pay you, maybe you have a little coaching, right? Because you have laid out principle, and the person maybe $50, $100, and they want to convert it to mentorship.
Sorry, this one should not be recorded. It should be cut out later. I just learned something here now. If there's anything I'm going to do around anything course or coaching again, it's going to be within time. A 30-day time frame. After which, don't call me. Don't call me.
my
call me
WhatsApp,
back.
there's a calendar link. That calendar link, when people send me a message these days and they're like, can we have a conversation with you? I'll send them the link, book a session, and I
Book it, will they pay?
paid session, man.
Okay.
I intentionally constrain the time when it's Mondays, Wednesdays, and I think one other day like that, and within a particular period of time. So when they book it, I'll now send them a link to pay. Most of them don't come back. I'm always glad. I'm always glad, because the most important thing really is that sometimes you have to teach people how to relate with you.
How to value your time.
They don't know. Most of them are coming from places where they could just barge into. They don't know. So you have to teach them
That makes
how
sense.
best to relate with you. When you teach them, when you do it to them twice, they will say crazy things about you, but over time, they will come around.
We still pay to gain access. We still pay to gain access.
Bro, I just saw this $4,000.
And we don't bug these people.
Bro,
Imagine I have people like
you
Honorable
get-
Alami on my phone. Why would I call him?
bro, I've never. Do you know that I don't even call Ronald at all? Like, if Ronald sees my message, he knows that it is very, very serious. Like, I literally go to him for very serious and delicate things, and I literally just ask him one question, like boom, 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 and that's it. You don't see me go. I know now. To be honest, that's why this just reminds me of something that we said one time. Is that sometimes, see, guys, is that you could even go for having a group of friends rather than having a mentor.
Because distance mentorship.
Because I was saying this thing. I said there are different types of mentors. You doing better than me. I don't have pride when it comes to making money. I have pride in other things. You understand? But if you're doing better than me, I want to be your friend.
Yeah.
I want to sip from your well. You understand what I'm saying? That's the kind of mentorship. You understand? Then there's now
It's called healthy
my
peer
friend,
pressure.
Tam used to call it mentor body. You understand? It's healthy competition. You understand? Because you're doing well and you're my friend, we're close. We can now have that personal connection, which is easier.
It's different from.
It's a mentor body. It's not a mentor. You understand? Then there's now an Then there's now an actual mentor. See, I have mentors that I'll never see. Why? Because they are dead.
All right.
But I keep on learning from them.
Cool.
You understand? So it's just there.
So that brings to my next question. Now, I've been hovering around the online course space and all of that. In fact, every one of us here has created an online course before. So it now makes sense to say, based on your experience, I'm going to ask this question in two ways. You are building businesses, selling online courses to people. Do you feel like an imposter sometimes? Do you feel, pay me to come and buy my knowledge.
God forbid.
And I love that. Do you think online courses can be? Do you think online courses are scam? Do people say all these people are? They are tech Twitter sometimes and influencer Twitter, influencer marketing Twitter sometimes. Usually prey on money Twitter, right? People are looking for the next course to sell. All these people, they will come and tell you to buy $1,000 course. Blah, blah. Do you think online courses are scam?
Do you think the university is a scam?
I don't think so.
The university is a knowledge-based institution that teaches people what to do to make money.
Yeah.
Let's not forget, why do you go to university?
Make money.
At the core of it, at the end of the day.
What happened to what you learned it so that you know how to make money.
So that you become
In the university, they forget to teach you how to make money.
Of course they do.
That's why people are even
We
here.
have two types of courses. We have professional courses, which are courses that can help you go the entrepreneurial route in your career. Then we have like the other guys. I like to call them the others: biochemistry, chemistry, all those ones that you must be employed. If you're an engineer, you can take contracts and those kind of things, maybe under another bigger company and all that. So at the end of the day, we all have the same goal, right? Which is those chemistry guys now. You're reading to become employed. Do you understand? You're reading to have a skill set that you can offer to a company that you can now become valuable to that company, that they can now pay you a salary.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So it's all the same ball game entirely. We're all moving in such a way that we want to find a way that we can offer to the economy. That's why federal governments have universities, so that they can bring out more people who can go to the civil service and uphold the economy, just like you said. You understand? So that's the role of a university. But if you decide that you want to go through the other route, which is entrepreneurship, you might not even need as much knowledge as they force you to have,
Or spend 4 years.
Spend 4 years. You don't even need that. One thing with the university system is that this is too broad. There's no specific information there. That's why I tell people that the university is a place of discovery. You go there to discover who and what you really are, because that's why you get freedom. You have a lot of. I don't know about these private uni guys.
Do you think the university is important though? Do you think school is a scam?
No, I don't. I think school is
proponents
very, 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 very important. The thing is that most people forget that.
Yeah.
Book is not the only thing you learn in school. Do you understand? You learn relationships, you learn networking, you learn association, you learn friendship, you learn independence. Then you ultimately learn how to become employable.
And you learn to survive.
No, because
You learn to survive.
There are a lot of people, dishing out advice on the internet. I see it a lot. Drop out of school, pursue entrepreneurship, drop out of school, do this. Nigerians, bro! Nigerians!
Well,
Now,
see,
I know there are
I've
people
said
that
it
have dropped
before.
out of school.
In my own defense, I've said it before, you understand? And that's because I've seen people drop out of school in Nigeria and make it. Now, the reason why I'll say drop out of school is, like I said, the role of a university in your life is discovery. If you feel that you've hit that discovery, what are you still doing there? Do you understand what I'm saying? But me, I will not advise you that you have 1 more year left and you just, it's not a lot of time.
I'm in third year, I dropped out.
Nigeria, it's actually very important. Even after the discovery, it's actually very important that you have that proof of concept that you went to school. You saw what happened to the former Minister of Finance, during Buhari's tenure of, I am for nobody, I am for. What they used in attacking that lady was really competent. Was an NYC certification that she doesn't have a certificate. So we really do not know where we are going to be tomorrow. Some of us are going to be board members, executives.
Bro, that's my perspective.
That's like a grand goal for me. And that's the reason why academics is really, really critical for me, because in the grand scheme of things, I want to be an
You
executive.
hit discovery, and
Hold on,
saying,
hold on.
you know where you're going.
Praise, hold on. So it is important. You're not looking at it from the bird's eye view, because some people think that what they came to life to do is internet marketing, affiliate marketing.
Look at me, for example. Like, did you just told you that, bro? I hated this stuff that I'm doing. Like, I hated the idea of it, right? But when I was in university, I never knew that there was anything called internet marketing. I didn't know about it till 2020, after July. That's the month I found out about internet marketing. Till then, I didn't know about anything like that. So you're correct. It's also correct, right? What I think is this: if you can, all right, if you can go to school, go to school. You can't listen. There are people right now. I know the guy. I think I age him also. This guy is making a lot of money.
Yeah, bro.
Bro, you don't even have to go to the most
You don't have
prestigious
to go to
university.
just go to school.
No, just go to a school.
Get your
The word is
BSc.
just go to a school.
Yes.
You understand? Like, you know, when I wanted to get admission, then like I was very bright. What is was I am very bright. You understand? you get? I'm a very very bright student. If I go back to school now, I'll still graduate first class. You get what I'm saying?
You graduated first class too,
No,
right?
no, I didn't. I didn't. That one is a story for another day. So back to what I'm saying.
No, I didn't have a first class.
So back to what I was saying, right?
I
Like,
guess Franklin did.
when I was looking for admission, because of my jam score right back then, they were like, oh, the school you have to go is OAU, and all that. I tried OAU, it shocked me. You understand? I did change of institution to FUTA. With my change of institution, shook me again. And I think, funny enough, right, I will say that if I have a child right now, I want the child to stay at home for 1 year before entering school. Because that 1 year, right, it gives a reset to the person's brain. That way you get to if the child
Stay at home
is a
and
good,
learn stuff.
yeah, you can stay at home and learn a lot of things. You can stay at home and learn life. Because that whole idea of immediately after secondary school, uni immediately, like they think it's the same thing that is happening in secondary school that they will not meet in. That's why most of them they're not very smart. You get? But if you see somebody who stayed 3 years, okay, just think about when you were 100 level. Think of those guys that are like Baba in class. They behave differently. They behave with the sense of maturity that you will not find in all those guys that are like 16, 17 in that same 100 level that you are. So there's this discovery that you get staying at home, chilling. You understand? Before entering, my own was just unfortunate for me. In fact, I wouldn't have said it maybe if I entered school, but it's because I've experienced it. And I know, but school is not a scam, basically, to be honest.
School is not a scam,
So for me, I feel like school is not a scam, right? Just like Prisa said, there are a lot of things you're going to learn in several areas. And to tackle that question, in my own side, I'll see where online courses, right, is very vital, but based on what you want to do, right? Based on the goal, what you're expecting at the end of every course you're taking. Now, where most people see online courses as scam, right? I think it's more like a personal, belief for your own self, and it is very okay. Same way when someone comes and says school is scam, I don't debate anybody that believes that. That's fine, and I leave you to that belief, right? And if you come say online courses are scam, it's also very okay and fine for your own self as well, right? But every single person who actually comes out and is now employable because you have spent 4 years in school and you still want to take short programs so that you can actually keep on scaling in the ladder of your career, and you think that online course is still a scam, then so be it. That's your
Let me
belief.
just tell you something. If you know how to use Google tools, Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Drive, Google anything, you're 70%, I'm telling you, you're 70% more employable than an average Nigerian graduate. You understand? Because those skills are heavily required management skills for so many companies. If you now go down to start learning Asana, start learning what are all those Notion and all that. Like there's this organization I belong to, ISEC. That's what we basically use for our organization. Like once ISECers finish, they're like companies eat them. Do you understand? Because they know all these skills. Because once you graduate from school, you're on a level playing field with millions of people with the same exact knowledge. Maybe just learning a second language can stand you out in maybe getting a job in public relations. So it's a small thing.
So I'm going to ask a question now.
And how do you learn that second language?
Obviously, by taking a course. You know,
If you go to a hospital, you're sick, right? You go to the hospital, and then this doctor shows up, and he says, "Oh, my name is Dr. Golibe. I'm very pleased to meet you. I heard that you're sick. I'm going to run some tests on you. I learned this skill on Udemy." What would be your reaction to that?
This is exactly what they are things that
You are trying to fly. You're trying to fly.
Those courses.
I bought another course that taught me how to fly, and this is my first time flying.
Those are delicate professions. Those courses are
professional.
Those are delicate professions.
The process has already, it's textbook process. Like you can't. There's a procedure to carry out stuff. So if you want to carry out an experiment using acid base now, acid and alkaline or water or whatever, there's a procedure. If you don't follow that procedure, you miss. Yes. So those things, that's why those courses often also take longer time. They take 5 years, they take 6 years, sometimes even 7 years and all that. But back to the question of is online courses a scam? Yes. Online courses is scam. Now it still doesn't change the fact that there are scams.
They are actually scams. There are
scams, just like there are scams everywhere else. So the whole idea is don't generalize. That's the whole idea.
I don't tend to fall into confirmation bias. So I remember when I was in final year. So basic confirmation bias is actually a very interesting bias, right, in psychology, where people find information, they tend to look for information to support that thing they already. So people don't look for the truth. People look to confirm what they believe.
And you always find.
If you seek, you find. If there's anything in this life, you're looking to confirm, you will find. That's just like. So that's why confirmation bias is a very, very strong person. I'll give you a quick story. So in my final year, because I had like an extra year, so I had a whole extra year. I had another extra semester. Because I was like, I don't want to go to school. Bill Gates didn't go to school. Elon Musk didn't go to school. Just the name. So I was like, I'm done. I'm done with school, right? But you want to know the crazy thing is this. All those people I mentioned, they are in the 0.000000001%. Do you know what it is to actually be? So in statistics, which is what I actually ironically went to learn in school, was that you have to look at the one that has your greatest chance of success, right? And that's what school will do for you. So I remember, and looking back at it, I was like, oh my God, I was so foolish. Like I was telling my dad that I don't want to go to school. And I was like, you're already in final year. Like in fact, you have an extra year. Just finish, just come out with it. You understand? So the point I'm trying to make is that don't say, oh, this one person who didn't go to school, is now successful. So
you shouldn't go.
Even look at that, but try to remember that Bill Gates and the likes, they dropped out from Harvard.
Plus,
they didn't drop out from Ekiti State University. I'm telling you, they didn't drop out from Ekiti State University or Ondo Poly or maybe Kogi State University. They dropped out from Harvard. Now, do you know what you get when you get to Harvard? Do you know the kind of people that go to Harvard? The best of the best. So before they left there, if you look at the background story of most of all these people, you see that they made valuable relationships and they didn't drop out alone. They took some people with them that went ahead to build what we have today. And they knew exactly what they wanted. They knew exactly how to get there. They knew the people they needed to meet to make this thing a success before they decided to drop out. They said he lived in his garage, blah, blah, he was eating well. You understand? Yes, he was eating well. 3 square meal. The garage was probably his workstation or something.
That's Steve Jobs' circle. If you look at Steve Jobs' circle, most of his closest friends are all billionaires that he met in school.
As of then,
yes,
his parents were even rich.
Bill
Gates' parents were rich.
He's more connected into IBM.
Jeff Bezos' parents were rich.
So the thing is that.
So another thing we need to understand is we cannot use American examples for Africa.
Exactly.
The context is different.
It's different. So that's something that a lot of people did not realize. Even me, I fell into that trap, right? And I'm saying this to everybody watching this. Like, don't do that. Like, I'm not generalizing.
What they really learned in their
Do you understand?
secondary schools.
So the fact that you know somebody who went to school, like for example, you didn't want to see me. I came out of third class, right? I have owned it with my chest. All right.
It doesn't mean you're not smart.
I'm saying this because of course, everybody probably knows that. So the point the point is this. Me, I will not tell you to come out of third class. I came out of third class. I'm making money. Bro, if you can come out first class, you can please do that, right? But don't be inspired by my third class. Don't say, oh, Bruno came out of third class, so you know what? I'm not going to pass in school. Please do that.
And let your drive for first class not prevent you from actually discovering what you actually want to do.
Exactly.
Because you can be driving towards this thing, because first class is not easy. You can be driving towards this thing, you don't associate with people.
Yeah.
You don't meet your destiny helpers in quotes. You know, you say you just want to read book. That's one thing I notice a lot of first class people have.
I actually know
That
people who fell into that trap.
Gap. That
Like,
there's a trap.
they
There's
had like
a serious
way
one there.
amazing results. When I started making millions, some of them were still struggling in some certain places that we all had a dream that we were going to work in. I did marine engineering. When I came to Port Harcourt, I came from Lagos. Everybody's in Lagos, I'm the only one here. When I came from Lagos, the dream was that I was going to come here, become a marine engineer, and graduate and sail as a sailor, basically. From third year like this, there was nothing marine about the engineering. But I still did not stop. I made sure I graduated with a good grade. But from that third year, I knew I wasn't going to practice. So I started venturing into other things. From final year, I was already getting jobs. And all of that. And you know, the thing is that most of these guys now, they now see me as someone. Sometimes when I look at the group chat, our school group chat, then some people still make reference to me when they have discussions about, you know, being able to diversify and all of those things. So do what you have to do in school, but at the same time, go out there, meet people, go for events, take hold of opportunities, volunteer for events. People are much more critical to your destiny than your skill.
So quick story, guys. The year 2022, I get a call. Hello, Joe, how far? I'm very well, thank you. Somebody's going to call you now. I want him to pay for your coaching. That was it. This guy was a House of Assembly aspirant from Uyo. Drove all the way down to Port Harcourt, paid in cash for my coaching, lodged in the hotel for 4 days every day. I never pitched this guy. It was just a simple mention. Oh, this my guy from school. He does this and this and this. You can learn from him. And that's how the deal was sealed. So if you're in school right now, you're not associating with people, you're not talking to people, you're not, you know, volunteering and all that.
I trained 2 SUG presidents on public speaking. The second one actually met me where I went to speak somewhere. We were still in school. I was in my final year then. I spoke somewhere. So when the guy won his election as an SUG president, he reached out to me and was like he needed training. So before the school resumed, I used to go and train him in his office. Right now, that guy is a local government chairman. And we are still friends. The whole idea is that relationships, really, you know, that core relationship, you know, being able to associate with people, don't just focus on books alone, like you said now. That guy is probably want to do something tomorrow, and it's a multi-million-naira deal, and it's like, Jago, because he has done that before. We did that in 2019. It's probably going to become someone, I don't know who is going to be tomorrow, but then the whole idea is that, you know, you really don't know.
So the moment you leave school, you fall in 2 categories, right? You're either book smart or street smart. Okay? And you can be both. And you can be both. And you can be neither.
Shocking discovery.
And you can be neither. You're either
Rude awakening.
street smart, both, or neither. You understand? So now it's a process, just like we said. Whatever you learn in school makes you book smart. Whatever you learn in school makes you street smart. You know, there's the same way they say school passed through you, you not pass through school. Yeah. So if the school actually passed through you, you should come out street smart. You understand? And we're not even talking about probably maybe, you know, the whole razzmatazz that happens, but you get what I'm saying. So you just have to think about it from a standpoint that what I'm here to do is I'm here to come and discover what I want to do with my life. You might not discover it even while you're in school, but you have a roadmap of interests. At least you are sure that you are not supposed to study chemistry after you leave school. Like, you're sure that you're not going to. Once I'm done with this course, civil engineering.
We both study civil engineering, bro.
You're sure that once you're done with this course, nothing. Okay, so for instance, for me now, right? When I finished studying civil engineering, I graduated with a very, very super high CGPA. In fact, I was just 0.1 off first class. All right. So when I finished, I knew that civil engineering, you know, we don't have any business till like 10 years time. Because when I went for my IT, I saw some first class guys and I saw their shoe was so dirty. You know, they were not looking sharp. Bro, you get with first class. You don't mean it that you're looking like this? Like, it didn't make any sense to me. So the whole idea of me chasing first class did not make any sense to me anymore. So I got to study the business and I understood that because people only think about the art of things and the skill, they don't understand the business of things. So I got to understand that this business requires time and experience, connection.
True.
Nobody's going to give you a contract with Julius Berger
Because
as a fresh graduate.
Yeah.
It's not even possible. If you like, get 0.1 class before first class. Nobody's going to give you that. It's going to take a lot of experience. It's going to take a lot of connections. It's going to take a lot of paperwork and all those kind of things for you to hit that million. So I thought about it and said, okay, at what point in my life am I going to hit millions with engineering? I said, okay, average 7 to 10 years. I made some inquiries. I said, okay, do I think I want to be like this for the next 10 years? That's what now gave me that second thought that, okay, I think I need to try something else. I think I need to start a business that can give me cash flow fast. And because of my situation that I was in, some people might have rich parents, they have trust
exactly.
kids, so they can afford
just
to wait.
To your dad's company or something, or
they can afford to wait, they can afford to stay the process and all, but I could not. It's too much risk for me.
Some could even go back to school.
Go back to school and
do your masters,
you know, and get the experience they need. You understand? But okay, now look. For me to like really stand out among the Nigerian civil engineering guys, probably I have to go do masters in abroad. Where will my dad see £14,000? We have not even seen £14.
My mom still called me. When I graduated, like a month after I graduated, my mom still called me. Say, man, congratulations, but don't stop. I know there's no money, but there's money for masters. I said, no problem. See this Kalis woman. Make her go do masters for where money no day. I knew primarily that I had to make that money first. Because same thing in marine engineering. Even with your first class, you cannot sail. Nobody will employ you to be on any vessel. You have to be seaman worthy. And that requires training. You have to have some certifications. Then those trainings were probably going up to 1 million or something. I didn't have that money. Last week, I was with my neighbor. I had just discovered on Sunday that the guy is also a marine engineer and he sails and all that. So now we are now talking on the level of, let me just go and sail for the sake of it, for the sake of the experience. But I couldn't do that some years ago. And it's possible now because the money is available. The money is actually there and all of that. So at some point, you have to also understand that, okay, get the papers and all of that, graduate and all of that. But all of those associations make you money, gives you leverage, and then you can now go back and do things with much ease, much comfort and all.
And for me, at the end of the day, right, I feel and I strongly believe that internet marketing for me is a means to an end. Right? So these beautiful stories we're talking about now. If your parents were rich, if you had a family company, you come out from school, you isn't your father's company. I want that kind of life for my kids. I don't want them to come out of school and start thinking, oh, let me start doing affiliate marketing so I'll make my next $1,000. Well, I want them to. So, for example, look at Grant Cardon's kids, for example. In Sabrina Cardon, Scarlett Cardon, all that. Grant is doing internet marketing. He has built Cardon Enterprises, Cardon Real Estate, and all that. But guess who is going to manage it? Sabrina and Scarlett. And that's what they're basically training them to do from age 10, 11, 12.
But let's not forget something. He will still teach them the art of sales.
Of course.
But the grand scheme of things.
For you to run any business, for you to make a lot of money, these things are foundational.
Even your kids, when they come out of school,
they are foundational.
Of course.
They are foundational.
When they come, sales is like,
I started selling the ground school.
If Dangote wants his son to take over his company, he will teach him the art of sales, marketing, persuasion, management. He will teach him the same things.
You get
So,
right. So, I guess we're going to wrap it up here shortly. But I'm going to ask this last question, and then we'll do another episode another time, because there's literally a lot to talk about, right? So, guys, anticipate another episode like this in a few months. Okay. So now the question here is, what does the roadmap look like to make millions out of this, online business thing? And all of that. You want to maybe share your personal story or something. How long do you think personally it takes? And then what does the roadmap look like basically?
Frankie, please tell us, Abeg.
No. I wanted to make it very simple. No, I'm not telling a story. I want to make it very simple. I think this to me is the most simplest. Like I heard it for the first time, and it has never left my mind. And I love it because of how simple it is. It's very simple. Find something that a lot of people want. Put it in front of them, and make it difficult for them to say no.
You know, if it was that easy, everybody would do it.
Of course, but
I've been
that's
hearing
the
this
concept.
thing since I started in my marketing.
That's the concept. Because everything
Just like someone buys a course, you see everybody. People just don't take time to implement.
Yes. People don't take time to implement.
People don't take time to implement.
Also, another thing is this. You heard my story. I made my first 1 million in the first 1 month of starting the first online business I ever done. It's not usually the case for a lot of people. Most people try, they do a lot of stuff before they do that. And I've tried other things, and I'll tell you for a fact, you have to give yourself time.
Exactly.
Most people, maybe because of how you were sold the course, for 72 hours you're going to make. The truth is, it's going to probably take you 6 months before you hit that 72 hours where you make the money, right? But you have to give yourself time. Most of the time, people are not patient. They buy a course and they don't go through, they don't finish, and all of a sudden they want to give up. You can't do that. Think about the school you went to. You spent 4 years going to learn a skill, a profession, a course. Give yourself similar time. All right? Yeah. So that's what I was saying.
In addition to this, right, where we need more time, right? From starting, implementing, and then hoping to get results, I'm going to just say 3 things here. 1, experiment, right? Experiment a lot of things, okay? 2, find what works. Finally, if you find what works for you, 3, go all out.
Exactly. I think let me build on what you said. I was speaking with a client some days ago, and this guy works in oil and gas. I don't know how long, but in our conversation, something around having a savings of about 400,000 came up. He has a savings. I'm not talking dollars, $400,000 saved up. This is a young guy who's in his 30s, right, in the oil and gas. And this is someone that in my group, he never talks. Every other person talks. There are a couple of them like that. Every other person talks, but he never says anything. Not until we had that conversation, I didn't know about that. And he just casually shared with me, I know. And that works for him. There are people who would probably never make that doing what they do, basically. But one of the things that I believe when it comes to getting the most out of life and making a lot of money is that you now want to start looking for things that you can leverage that you would not be directly involved in. And that's where, for me, I choose the capital markets. If you look at it, the capital markets, most of the billionaires in the world today, they are all invested in the capital markets.
Capital markets.
That's the stock market primarily. And today we have other markets like the crypto market and the real estate market and all of that. But then everything is called the capital markets, basically. So they leverage, because the thing is, there are people who will always have access to more resources. They will always have access to more skills. They will always have access to more technology than you do. You will never be as rich as they are. You will never have as much resources as they do. And they have everything structured, and they'll be profitable over time. What they need, you have made the money. Let's assume that you've started making money. What do you need to do? Buy a stake in their business and relax. I tell people for the past 2-3 years, I've not had to pay my rent for my direct income. My rent has always been returns on my investment. A lot of the things I do, I want to get to a point whereby 100%, that's what financial freedom is all about. Yeah. Financial freedom is actually 100% of your lifestyle is funded by returns on your investment. 100%. That's financial freedom. That's financial freedom. There's absolute financial freedom, right? The billionaire level. But that's actually, so what people call financial freedom is actually not financial freedom. That's mostly financial independence. So the whole idea is that you have to look for, because you can't do everything. You will die. So leverage, buy stake in other people's businesses and relax. Most of them average 20% return. So if I want $20,000 return yearly, what do I need? I need a 100K portfolio. If I build a $100,000 portfolio, which is quite easy with patience and continuous compounding, right? You can get $20,000, and that $20,000 annually, to an extent, can sort out some problems, right? And then over time, it improves, it increases because you keep compounding. And before you know it, it's $1 million, it's $2 million portfolio that averages 10 to 15 to 20% return annually. And you're mostly good, you can do stuff for your children, and you're free.
This conversation has been one hell of a conversation. And I mean, and we've not, it feels like we've not struck crude oil yet. There's still,
Exactly.
So thank you very much, guys, for staying tuned to this episode. And I must thank every one of you here for granting me, audience and appearing on the pod. I hope to do this again pretty soon. All right. And till then, keep watching the Entrepreneurs Connect show. By the way, guys, tell them to subscribe to the channel.
You just see my follow my on somewhere around here. Just
Subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Okay? And by the way, if you learned something, leave a comment. Let us know that you learned something and all of that. I'll see you in another episode of the Entrepreneurs Connect show. Keep watching. Take care of yourself, everybody. And cheers. Bye-bye.